We're in conversation with Sanjiv Bajaj. Sanjiv, thanks very much for joining us on the show. We're far away from India, but let me still ask you for a macro assessment of how the story looks post-demonetization. I know you've been guarded and conservative in either calling demonetization a success or a failure, and even talking about the implications as far as the business is concerned, because nobody really knows today. But how does it look today?
Shereen, when you're talking of demonetization, what you've really seen is only what I would say is the first part, the change in the currency notes, at least of some denominations. You have to see what happens right through. I think the basic focus on digitizing payments is very important. But we also have to be clear this takes time. Can't happen overnight. In the short term, of course, there's been an inconvenience, but things are already easing as we are seeing. So when I look at my own businesses, whether Bajaj Finance or our insurance businesses, November was slow. And slow for us means in our first half in Bajaj Finance, we grew 45%. So we grow a little slower, but we are still growing. December was better. On the consumer businesses, we believe that some of the sales, whether motorcycles, consumer durables, is a mere postponement. Because people have been standing in line, people have been just waiting and watching to see if there's something more that happens. So my sense is the next couple of months it should normalize. A little bit more apprehension around the SME businesses, not so much on credit quality at all, because there again, we are 100% electronic payment, even with our SME customers, just the segments that we cater to. But that their entire supply chain mostly works on cash. So I think it takes time to get this to change.
Since you're talking about insurance, let me ask you for an update on your insurance businesses. There was a lot of talk last year about you buying out Allianz's stake in both the insurance businesses. We haven't had an update from you on that. Where do things currently stand with Allianz?
Well, Shereen, there were media rumors.
But you did say that there were options on the table that you were looking at.
There are always options on the table. So I've said over the last 15 years, we discuss all kinds of opportunities. But there have been no conclusive talks on any of these issues. And that's why there's no update at this point of time. If at all there are any such discussions that take place and we take certain decisions, of course we will go and inform the exchanges.
So are they staying on? Are they hiking their
They're very much there right now. They're very much there. We have a board meeting next week. They'll be there. So we'll see.
Okay, so does that mean that you've been able to arrive at a suitable valuation? Because I'm given to understand that that is where the disagreement was. If they were to hike their stake, or if you wanted to buy them out, have you been able to arrive at a suitable valuation?
No. So there are no such discussions happening which would require a valuation. If at all it does, then we will think of it at that point of time. We've not discussed anything in any meaningful way regarding their stake, their presence. None of this. So these are just media rumors. I can't.
So are they still committed to this venture? Are you still committed to Allianz?
They are very much committed. We are very much together running the business. Things could change tomorrow, but today we are committed to doing this business together.
What would make things change tomorrow? Or what could make things change tomorrow?
This is now getting to another level which we can go into all kinds of hypotheses as to what happens in situation X, Y, Z. I can't comment on.
But has an independent evaluation been done of what the stake is?
No.
Because that is what you would be required to do under the new Reserve Bank guidelines.
Only if there was some purchase or sale.
So there has been no evaluation that's been done so far.
No evaluation. I can say that.
So, what is the aspiration then as far as the insurance business is concerned? We've seen a fair amount of activity and a fair amount of consolidation with the HDFC Max deal being the latest one. What's the aspiration for the insurance business?
Very similar to what we've done with the finance business, which is to a similar customer base. And when we look at our customers between our insurance and the finance business, today we have over 80 million of them, and we add 6 to 8 new million customers a year. How do we build the same level of excellence through service, through products, so that we can build a sticky relationship with them pan-India? Today, in our life business, outside of LIC, we have the largest pan-India network amongst all our peers. If you look at the non-life business, we are the only company consistently to report an underwriting profit and be number 2 in the private sector. And I think the first half of this year, our profit was number 2, even taking into account the 4 government companies, which are so much older. So when you're building these kind of businesses with quality, it also means you have to decide what not to do. And I think that's a very significant difference between how we build our businesses and what I see with some of our peers. So we are trying to balance top line with a good, healthy bottom line, and most importantly, to make sure that we're building sticky customers.
You know, the valuation argument when it comes to NBFC continues. Have they run out of steam? You know, has the market sort of gone ahead of itself? But if shareholders were to place a bet on NBFCs and specifically yours, do you believe that the kind of growth and the kind of returns that you've been able to deliver are sustainable?
You see, we've been saying the last few years that a 20% to 25% growth in top line and bottom line and an ROA of about 3% or so is something that we see steady state. We've had the last few years where we've significantly outperformed that because we've had all our ducks falling in line, because we are in 30 different product lines across 4 different segments in Bajaj Finance itself. But there'll be other times when a few will be off. So we believe this kind of focus on a 20% ROE through the top and bottom line growth long term is possible. As regards valuation, luckily I don't have to buy or sell my own shares, so I don't do that.
But what next now as far as the financial services aspiration is concerned? What could you possibly add on? Is there any possibility of inorganic opportunities that you're looking at?
We keep looking at inorganic opportunities as they come to us, but they have to make sense. They have to be complementary.
What would you like to add on? What capabilities would you like to add on?
Okay, so that's 2 different things. One, we think we have all the capabilities. So if there is something that would need to come on, not only would it have to be complementary, for example, in the case of insurance, if it were to give us exclusive access to a large banker partner, and we can see how an SBI, an HDFC, and an ICICI have grown because of those exclusive arrangements so far, clearly there's merit. But on the other hand, there's a cost.
Are you talking to anybody?
No, there's nothing that's available right now. There have been some deals in the market, but there's nothing very serious around that. And at the end of the day, you have to balance and see what you're going to pay for it and how many years it's going to take you to recover from that incremental business. So we look out for such opportunities, but we are also very clear about the culture that we have built. When you see the way the businesses have grown in the last 8